welcome to Not Your Status Quo's Road to Infinity War. Today, the final installment. Kind of sad, but also happy that Infinity War will be here this week. But today we'll be talking about Black Panther. And remember, if you like us and our videos, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell so you'll be notified of future videos.
Tell me something. What do you know about Wakanda? Shepherds, cool outfits, all a front. Explorers have searched for it.
Performances. This is the 5th time I've seen this movie, and everything in it is just excellent. It's like a masterpiece, really.
It really is one of the best, maybe the best, that and the Winter Soldier films in the MCU. I mean, Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger is just phenomenal. He hits every range. He's crying in some scenes. Mm-hmm. He's brutally murdering people in another scene. It's just incredible. Winston Duke as M'Baku, awesome. The
really, man-ape.
Yes, the man-ape, but that's...
They called him a gorilla in the movie.
They do. But everyone, Chadwick Boseman and Andy Serkis, who we're very sad to see gone since he, did die in this film.
Or is he gone?
Hopefully not.
Could he transform into something else? Hopefully.
Being of pure sound, perhaps.
The only one who's seen it and made it out alive.
Okay, let's go over the plot. I saw this for the 5th time today, and I was specifically looking for any points that I could point out that were flawed in storytelling, or if there's any open loops. I didn't see any. It was excellent storytelling. I feel like every line tied into something within the movie, or something that could lead to something in, say, Black Panther 2.
Yeah, I mean, well paced. Every character was tremendous, with Shuri and Killmonger leading the pack. Killmonger's a little different from he was in the comics, but it was a vast improvement. Mm-hmm. I think it really hit home. I mean, everything about this, it hit everything. It was serious. It wasn't overly serious. It had its funny moments, but it was also very human and very emotional. I mean, it really was an absolutely tremendous film.
Yeah, I didn't think so right when I first saw it. It took me to see it a few times to feel it was really a masterpiece. Really well done.
I waited my entire life for this. The world's gonna start over. I'ma burn it all.
Okay, other items of note from this film. This takes place right after Civil War, and we actually see a news report of King T'Chaka's death and that they captured Zemo. So we do know that Zemo is still alive and in custody. Hopefully we'll make an appearance later on, perhaps putting together a team to fight the Avengers. Claw's arm, his sonic weapon, he says, is an old mining Wakandan tool.
Yeah, he modified himself.
Yeah, which was a nice throwback to his comic self, where he is a being of pure sound. And like we said earlier, hopefully we see that again. Nakia is a war dog, and we see a lot of we've seen a lot of the war dogs within the comics, and one of the characters in it referred to as the White Wolf had these people, and he was kind of the only white person in Wakanda. And now in the movie, we have Bucky Barnes being in Wakanda. They're referring him to the White Wolf in that post-credit scene, which we'll talk about here in a minute.
What post-credit scene? Go ahead.
But, I think they're setting him up to be the White Wolf for Wakanda, and as we know, Thanos perhaps invades Wakanda because he's looking for the Infinity Stones that the Avengers have, so we're going to see him there. When Shuri is healing Everett Ross, and she says, "Oh, great, another broken white boy." That was a nice call-out, reminding us that,
that he's still
Bucky
there.
was there.
Another thing about Everett Ross, like how they ended the movie with him interrogating, I'm talking about Civil War now, where he was interrogating Baron Zemo. This is supposed to be like a week later that, at least in the movie, they say last week so-and-so died. So all that stuff happened within a week, and then now this is a week later, and he's already going to see Claw in South Korea. So he's moving along pretty quickly himself. And in this movie, we find out that he's a pilot for the CIA, And I read somewhere that maybe he has some, in his old pilot days, has a connection to Captain Marvel. So perhaps we'll maybe see him in that movie. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Nothing wrong with that. We also get the sneakers that Shuri makes, where she's like, "What are those?"
Yeah.
Calling out to the YouTube or Vine video, I should say. And they're actually, she says, father's favorite movie, which is Back to the Future 2, it seems like, because that's the Nikes from there.
Yeah.
And then I know we talked about this in our previous review of Black Panther, but young T'Chaka was played by, the actor's son, which made it look so similar, which I did think they had used the same kind of thing they used for Kurt Russell in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I waited my entire life for this. The world's gonna start over. I'ma burn it all.
We're back. There are post-credit scenes after all. First one happens at the UN with Wakanda saying, hey, we're going to share what we've got with the rest of the world. And they just ask him, what could a third world country have to share with the rest of the world? And apparently, we and Keith were discussing this earlier. Apparently, he doesn't like to answer questions. Because at the end of the movie, this kid asks him 2 questions. Is that yours? What's your name? And he just goes. So at the end of this, when they ask him that question, he just smiles. He doesn't answer. It's kind of funny.
In the second scene, we see a healed Bucky wake up in Wakanda minus his arm.
White Wolf.
And yes, the boys refer to him as the White Wolf, which we talked about earlier, was the leader of the War Dogs. So perhaps we're going to see him take over as that. Or it could just be a red herring, kind of get us off the scent that he's going to be the next Captain America if anything unfortunate happens to Captain America in Infinity War.